of Cognizant Venture. And he's also a director at Founder Institute, Ahmedabad. He has mentored and helped many startups to raise funds through different mechanisms, and he uh, he delivers talks on the similar topics at several platforms. He's a visiting faculty with several academic institutions, and he's also associated with forums like Startup India, Startup Gujarat, Vadvani Foundation, etc. So we certainly look forward for your session, Sanket. Over to you now.
Thank you so much, Neha. I think this is perfect. Good morning, everyone. And I hope you will get something in this session. We'll discuss some details from whatever experience that I have got. Though my core experience remains in equity financing, I was a venture capitalist for 6 to 7 years and all. But post that, what I've understood is equity is definitely one struggle that majority of the startups are going through. And against that, in last few years, as we can see, government of Gujarat and government of India, particularly in 2016 when Startup India came into picture, and then 2012 to 16, 16 to 21, industrial policies for government of Gujarat for startups and MSMEs have actually been very, very progressive. A lot of startups have benefited through that. A lot of startups have taken a lot of grants, and they have actually increased their valuation. Before I jump on to how we can take it and all, let me just give you a very brief, benefit what can be said, and a bit of a technicality before I start my presentation and we go through each and every detail. In early 2013, we happened to invest a very small amount in early stage startup, and it was just out of a good courtesy that startup has given us some funds. It was 1 lakh rupee private limited company, and then they just told us that why don't you invest 5,000 rupee and we'll give you 5% stake. We said fine. Since then, the startup was into R&D. Startup got grants from Department of Biotechnology, DSIR, BIRAC. The grants worth rupee around 2 crore, which was given. The product R&D, which he was planning to develop, was developed. It was in the field of oncology, cancer patients and all. When he went out for raising next round of fund to increase his capabilities, investments into plant and machinery and all, just because of the grant that he has got, because of the R&D that he has been able to put in, because of the amount of funds that has gone into the startup, the valuation on which the negotiations have started was 55 crore. If I consider even 50 crore rupee on the lower side, it was a requirement of 5 crore rupee, 10% dilution, 50 crore, all those things we all know about, all these juggleries. In just a matter of 2.5 years, our stake of 5,000 in 2.5 years has gone up to 2.5 crore rupee. Now this 5,000 to 2.5 crore rupee, this growth has been possible because of at a right time, with a right documentation, we could approach a right government agency and could get a right funds. And then obviously right utilization leading to a potential success. Same way, if you really look at the cost of equity, which is any equity investor investing into your startup and expecting some sort of returns on investment, that is a cost to the company because company is giving the returns to the startup, and that is the cost of equity. If you look at the average cost of equity on which investors are interested in investing is not less than 20 to 25% minimum. And on the other side, go to the banks. If you have got a plan, if you are fitting in particular policy, go to the bank. Bank will give you a loan at 10, 11%, 12%. Then go to Government of Gujarat. Government of Gujarat will give you interest subsidy of 7%. Essentially, the loan will be at 3 to 5%. Now, the amount that you are getting on which the cost is 3 to 5%, and amount that you are getting, the cost is 22%. The amount that you are getting has no dilution of equity ownership, remains no intervention in the overall activity, versus the amount that you are getting from the equity with a board seat, amount that you are getting into by way of equity with some sort of, I think, shareholding agreement with multiple terms and conditions like liquidation preference and right of first refusal and all those things. I'm sure some of you might have tried to reach out to some investors also, and investors have these typical conditions. So an obvious preference is given to grant, where I don't need to repay anything. Second is subsidy, where I spend and I get a reimbursement. But yes, first I need to have a funds to spend. Then third is debt. Third is debt. And then fourth. Hello? Any?
Yeah,
problem?
no. I request everyone to please mute your mics. And if you have any question, you can put on the chat box. We'll take the questions in the end.
Yep.
Thank you.
So just understand, we being a startup, what we plan day one is to raise equity. I will say equity will be the last thing that one should be raising. And you ask any expert in the market. I was there as an equity investor, as a VC for 7 years. And I am telling that equity investors are the last people that you should be approaching. But as we don't know कि अगर equity नहीं तो क्या, कहाँ से, कितना, we start our assumptions that because all the startups are getting valued in billions of dollars, we would like to value ourselves, and then we want to go and dilute our equity from the equity investors. And we interact multiple this thing. Not getting into the equity stuff right now, because that's not the topic on which we are focusing. But let's begin with what all benefits we can get. I have not listed the amount and procedures and all those things, but you can keep the note of whatever we are, I'm going to tell you. I have just broadly listed all the policies under which what is the kind of funding government is giving, bankers are giving, which schemes under which you can get, all those things I have written. So let's begin. Can host allow me to share the screen? There are two Sanket Shahs and I have joined through.
So which one, Sanket? I mean, you would like?
If you can do it for both, because I cannot tell you specifically which one.
Done.
Yeah, I think I can right now. Okay, so I think this is visible.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yes, perfect. So I'm just taking this to next. So basically, startup financing, as we all know, that it is important. I have written very categorically that it has to be an efficient structure and affordable way. Financing का बहुत ही important parameter proper structure, proper रूप से पैसा आना और जितना हो सके उतना affordable होना. The moment you enter into a financing mechanism where you are not in a position to afford that kind of funds, there are fair chances that because of mismanagement of finance, mismanagement of fund, I have seen more than 50% startups are failing. Probably more than that, right? But that's the kind of figure that we can think of. Over here in equity finance, just giving you a very brief that what all are the possible ways or what all are the possible resources through which you can get the funds. Seed fund by way of incubators and friends and family, F&F. Angel investors, as we all know. Venture capitalist, private equities. Public issues now for startups, public issue. SME, public issue. And main board listing. All these things are available. IPOs are there, FPOs are there. And then, as we all know, large companies like NetMeds are being bought by Geo platform. 1MG is being bought by Tata's. Pharmacy will be bought by someone else, right? Myntra, Jabong, all other people. Smaller startups are being bought by large corporates or large startups. And that's how you get efficient funding, you get partial dilution, you get full dilution. All these things are possible. Okay. So far, anyone has any question? We are getting then into date and all. But these are very, very basic things. I just thought to, briefly touch upon these points. Okay. So let's make it a bit more interactive. Otherwise, it will be one way, and then probably it can be. So Neha, probably if someone has got any question, we can have, 2 or 3 smaller points where we can have question answer in between. So far, anyone has any question? Are we clear on this equity financing? Probably, then we can go next. So debt financing basically loan lena hai. Loan kaun dega? So banks and NBFCs, as we all know, typically banks के पास जाते हैं. हमें लगता है बैंक्स नहीं देता है. क्यों नहीं देता है उसका रीजन मैं बताता हूँ आपको. NBFCs रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट ज्यादा होता है और वो तो बिल्कुल नहीं देते हैं because they don't have a risk appetite. Then venture debt. I'm not sure how many of you have heard about venture debt or not, but venture debt is the new form of funding where they register themselves as NBFC और वो डेट एक्सटेंड करते हैं so that आपको ज्यादा डाइल्यूट नहीं करना पड़े, शॉर्ट टर्म के लिए पैसा मिले और आप आगे जाके वेंचर डेट को नेक्स्ट लेवल पे ले जा सकते हो. मैं वेंचर डेट के बारे में डिटेल बताता हूँ आपको. बैंक्स और एनबीएफसी से कैसा मिलता है, कैसा वो भी मैं बताता हूँ आपको. गवर्नमेंट और इंक्यूबेटर्स एज ए सॉफ्ट लोन, राइट. आज जब कोई इंक्यूबेटर को गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया टेक्नो बिजनेस इंक्यूबेटर का रोल देते हैं, स्टेप साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप पार्क बनाते हैं, तो उनको एक पैसा मिलता है. The amount which is available at the disposal of TBI or STEP, they can dispose it by way of giving grant or by taking equity or by giving soft loans. Lot of incubators, may it be IIT's incubators, IIM's incubators, and some other incubators which are prominent in India, like I Create and some in Kerala, some in Bombay, Delhi and all. They are also extending soft loan. Soft loans are typically loans which have a lower interest rate. We will discuss about it in detail. And external commercial borrowing. Though for early stage, for a small amount, external commercial borrowing is not a very convenient option because cost of fund is very high for a smaller amount. But let's say you have got into some sort of a larger partnership with someone and you think that you'll be able to get it. Then for early stage, without collateral, you will be in a position to get even ECB also. So this focus, all the 4, I have a focus on startups, where I am not talking about, let's say, what is traditional debt funding and what are the difficulties. Then in traditional debt funding, they will ask कि क्या आपके पास वेल मेंटेन्ड बुक से आपका ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड अच्छा है, ठीक है, 3 साल का 5 साल का ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड है. नाउ as a startup, you don't have track record. You have got a very greenfield idea, very early stage idea. How will you be in a position to get a loan? Not possible, right? Then They will say, give me collateral security. Now they are asking about, getting your personal assets as a collateral. भी इतना asset होता तो शायद ये मैं difficulty face ही नहीं करता. So without collateral, how can I work? And then, do you have a repayment capacity? क्या इतना earning है आपका कि मैं आपको जो लोन दूंगा वो लोन आप repay कर पाओगे? So इसको typically ratios के format में बोलते हैं DSCR, debt service coverage ratio. क्या मैं आपको जो डेट दे रहा हूँ क्या वो डेट आप सर्व कर पाओगे? So that's what is the DSCR, right? So essentially, guys, what I am trying to say is these are the typical difficulties in debt finance, and that's why if you go to a regular debt consultant, they are not interested in supporting, or they will not be able to support startups, because neither you have got a track record, nor you have got a collateral security, nor you have got a repayment capacity. Now, when you don't have any of these, how can you get a debt? That's the question. And let's look at how can you get the debt. So first is banks or NBFC route. So banks or NBFC के अंदर, let's say आप लेते हो मुद्रा loan. You must have heard the name of Mudra loan. Mudra is Micro Units Development and Refinance Agency. That's the agency which has been notified by government, and they give a loan. The loan is up to 10 lakh rupees. There are certain criteria that you should be doing this kind of businesses. Then you can go and get the Mudra loan. Okay. Technology is more or less covered in everyone. Then we go to CGT MSE, up to 2 crore. This is more or less universal. Up to 2 crore. अगर आपको लोन चाहिए और आपके पास कोलेट्रल नहीं है, तो गवर्नमेंट ने क्या मैकेनिज्म बनाया है? गवर्नमेंट ने एक फंड बनाया है, ट्रस्ट. द ट्रस्ट हैज बीन फॉर्म्ड बाय गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, वेल मैनेज्ड बाय सिडबी, स्मॉल इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया. वो क्या करते हैं? आप जाओ, कोई भी नेशनलाइज्ड बैंक के पास जाओ, नेशनलाइज्ड बैंक को बोलो कि मुझे 2 करोड़ का लोन चाहिए. नेशनलाइज्ड बैंक आपको पूछेगा कि आप लोन से क्या करोगे, कितनी एसेट बिल्टअप करोगे. आपके पास कोलेट्रल नहीं है, कोई चिंता नहीं है. कोलेट्रल के लिए मैं आपकी फाइल पुटअप करूंगा सिडबी में. सिडबी बोलेगा कि ठीक है, ये बंदा धंधा करना चाहता है, अच्छा बिजनेस है, इसका पोटेंशियल अच्छा है, ठीक है, बैकग्राउंड है प्रमोटर का, तो एक काम करते हैं, अगर वो लोन रिपे नहीं कर पाता है तो X% ऑफ द लोन का रिपेमेंट मैं कर दूंगा. दैट इज सिडबी विल डू इट. नाउ यू गिव अ लोन टू देम. सो आपको कोलेट्रल अरेंज नहीं करना है. नया प्रोजेक्ट है, फिर भी आपको लोन मिल सकता है. आपको कोई रिपेमेंट नहीं देखना है, आगे का पीछे का देखना है. वंस यू टेक द लोन, देन यू हैव टू बी generating sufficient cash that you will be in a position to serve the debt. But that is only when you have availed the loan, you have implemented the project, you have initiated the sales, and then you have started generating the surplus, and then you will be repaying the loan. So this is amazing, right? Then this third loan, SMILE, if you are getting into make in India product और आपको छोटा इन्वेस्टमेंट चाहिए, CGT MSE गाइस लिख लेना, 2 करोड़ तक. मुद्रा लोन कोई भी बैंक अप टू 10 लाख रुपए. शुरुआत करते ही इनिशियली मुझे लोन चाहिए, गवर्नमेंट की ग्रांट आएगी तब आएगी. आई डोंट सी वेदर इट विल कम इमीडिएटली और नॉट. कैन आई गेट अ मुद्रा लोन? यू मे ट्राई. If you are trying and if you can get it, there are conditions attached to it. I cannot take you through the whole policy documents and all. Otherwise, 1-2 लोन भी खत्म नहीं होगा अपना 1 घंटे में. But more or less the point is, अगर 10 लाख की लोन चाहिए, मुद्रा लोन में ट्राई करो. और बड़ी अमाउंट का चाहिए, जैसे मैं अभी आपको मेरे खुद के एक प्रोजेक्ट के बारे में बात करता हूँ, तो अप्रोक्सीमेटली वी वांटेड 70 लाख रुपए. 70 लाख रुपए के से एक प्रोजेक्ट का एक छोटा सा यूनिट स्टार्ट करना था. तो उसके लिए what we did, we went, approached government of Gujarat, got some grants, remaining amount whatever was pending, we went to this banker, we asked them, we took CGTMSE for remaining amount. Banker gave me the fund. I have not diluted a single penny, and I am starting my production unit in next 1 month. Now, typically what happens? Typically everyone will think, मुझे पैसा चाहिए, government नहीं दे रहा है, मुझे जाना है angel investor के पास. And then they will start scouting for the pitching events. They go to pitching events. Go to pitch events. I don't say no. Go and make a presentation before investors. But let finance not become your constraint to the growth. So I'm just giving you alternatives to angel investments, alternatives to seed investments. And here is one of the alternatives, which is debt financing. You go to SIDBI's Make in India soft loan for MSME. And guys, if you are in a general category, you get up to 20 lakh rupee. It's a soft loan, so the rate of interest is below 5%. If you are, let's say, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, or person with disability, or if you got someone, and in your company, if they hold more than 51%, then the amount can be up to 30 lakh rupees. Now they have huge funds. Let me tell you guys, ये जो credit guarantee fund की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ आपको, CGTMSE, the total loans given to micro and small enterprises are to the tune of 1 lakh, that is guarantees are given to the tune of 1,85,000 crore in India. Now they have already launched a Udan platform where even you can apply for online guarantee. So instead of getting up from your chair and going to the banker, and banker will tell you, ye de do, wo de do, itna nahi karna hai. You want a loan in 1 hour? Go online PSB loans. Online PSB loans. The loans, the platform which has been floated by Chartered Accountant team in Ahmedabad, and that was known as 59-minute loan. Later on, it became online PSB loan. Now you apply for that loan, and within 1 hour, 59 minutes, you can get the loan. Isn't it amazing? People are getting it. In 48 hours, they are getting disbursements. We have done that activity, so we know. So that is actually possible. Incidentally, the people who have founded this are also good friends. So we know that how they have created such an amazing platform in 59 minutes only. Then you go to SIDBI for CGTMSE. Again, you get online approval for that. The platform name is Udan. Then Stand Up India, the way Startup India came, it was Stand Up India, up 10 lakh to 1 crore for, again, special castes, for special businesses. The loans which are given at 3 to 5% only, somewhere between 10 lakh to 1 crore, depending upon the project size, depending upon the requirement, up to 50% of the total project size is given. You go to NBFC, NBFC बोलेगा कि मैं तो आपको larger funding दूंगा, but NBFC को अगर आप, for example, you are in a startup where you are targeting public sector undertakings to be your potential customer. Public sector undertaking में let's say ONGC. ONGC ने आपको एक बड़ा सा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट दे दिया. कॉन्ट्रैक्ट दिया 2 करोड़ का, 5 करोड़ का. अभी 2 करोड़ या 5 करोड़ का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट 100 करने के लिए आपको पैसा चाहिए. Go to NBFC. NBFC will fund you immediately. Trade financing. क्योंकि यहाँ पे ट्रेड हो रहा है. Someone is giving you an order, you are going to deliver. Maybe your cost is 3 crore rupee, ONGC is giving you 5 crore rupee. You anyway have got a 2 crore rupee surplus. 3 crore rupee का आपको फंडिंग मिल जाएगा, 3 करोड़ आप स्पेंड कर लो, और आपको जब वापस देना है तब 3 करोड़ की जगह शायद 3 करोड़ 30 लाख देना है, 10% आपको देना है 1 साल में. तो still you are making money. You are interested in this, you start with the work. So that is standard trade financing. Same way, if you need to buy some equipments, आप 3D प्रिंटिंग में कुछ कर रहे हो, रोबोटिक्स में कुछ कर रहे हो, आपको इंडस्ट्रियल आईओटी में कुछ करना है, ऑगमेंटेड रियलिटी वर्चुअल रियलिटी के लिए कोई होलोग्राफ्स और कुछ सिमुलेशंस या उसके लिए आपको इक्विपमेंट्स परचेज करने हैं और आपको उसके लिए फाइनेंसिंग चाहिए, और अगर आपको लगता है कि गवर्नमेंट से सपोर्ट अभी नहीं मिल रहा है तो यू कैन गो एंड गेट द इक्विपमेंट फाइनेंसिंग फ्रॉम एनबीएफसी आल्सो. रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट कैन बी बिट हाई, बट अगर कुछ नहीं मिलेगा, आपको मालूम है कि आपकी 3 महीना में इसके ऊपर काम करूंगा, रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट क्या होगा, मैक्सिमम 3% होगा, 4% होगा 3 महीने का, ठीक है, तो यू कैन स्टिल अफोर्ड इट बिकॉज यू नो कि आप 100 रुपए की प्रोडक्ट बनाओगे, कॉस्ट मेकिंग कॉस्ट विल बी 100 रुपी, यू विल बी सेलिंग इट फॉर मे बी 500 रुपी बिकॉज यू आर वर्किंग ऑन द इनोवेशन and you are confident on that. Then go get the equipment financing. I'll come and I'll tell you ये सब फाइनेंसिंग लेने के बाद फाइनेंसिंग के ऊपर का जो इंटरेस्ट होता है, इंटरेस्ट के अंदर भी आपको गवर्नमेंट बेनिफिट देता है. तो मैं जो भी अभी परसेंटेजेस बोल रहा हूँ, ये परसेंटेज अगर आपको ज्यादा भी लगते हैं, और अगर इफ यू हैव रजिस्टर्ड योर स्टार्टअप इन द स्टेट ऑफ गुजरात, देन गुजरात गवर्नमेंट विल गिव यू इंटरेस्ट सब्सिडी आल्सो. सो आपको समझ में आ रहा है ओवरऑल मेरे पास आइडिया होना जरूरी है. अगर आइडिया अच्छा है पेटेंट के लिए, आइडिया इंप्लीमेंट करने के लिए, मुझे गवर्नमेंट भी ग्रांट देता है, बैंक्स भी थोड़े पैसे देते हैं, मुझे क्या करना है, पॉलिसीज को एक साइड पे समझना है, डिस्कस करना है, अपने बिजनेस मॉडल को अकॉर्डिंगली सेट करना है. पॉलिसीज और बिजनेस मॉडल जब एक हो जाते हैं तब आपको डेफिनेटली पैसा मिलता है, एंड द फंड्स दैट यू विल गेट is much cheaper than the equity funding with a less terms and condition, with a limited risk. In case if you are not in a position to pay, then also you are not putting up anything as a collateral which is your own asset. आप आपके पापा को जाके या फिर आप आपके घर पे जाके ये नहीं बोल रहे हो कि मैं अपना घर मॉर्गेज कर रहा हूं क्योंकि मुझे उसके सामने बोरोइंग करना है. नहीं, अगर आप अर्ली स्टेज स्टार्टअप हो तो आपको शायद आपके नाम पे घर भी नहीं होगा, गाड़ियां भी नहीं होगी, तो आप कैसे करोगी? Then at that time, see if you want a collateral, I will tell you what kind of collaterals are also needed by the bank. Land, building, that is your residential property or office premises or warehousing premises, whatever. Gold, ज्वेलरी के सामने लोन मिलता है, गोल्ड के सामने लोन मिलता है, यू आर नो. देन LIC के सामने लोन मिल सकता है. देन फिक्स्ड डिपॉजिट्स अगर अवेलेबल है तो उसके सामने लोन मिल सकता है. अगर KVP किसान विकास पत्र अवेलेबल है टैक्स प्लानिंग के पर्पज से, अगर किसी ने कभी भी परचेस किया है पास्ट में तो उसके सामने भी आपको लोन मिल सकता है. अभी वर्किंग कैपिटल फाइनेंसिंग की बात कर लेता हूं 2 मिनट के लिए. तो आपके जैसे मैंने आपको ONGC का एग्जांपल दिया, तो ONGC विल बिकम एन असेट फॉर यू, डेटर फॉर यू. सो अगेंस्ट द डेटर फंडिंग कैन बी अवेलेबल. सेम वे अगेंस्ट द स्टॉक इन्वेंटरी, इन केस इफ यू हैव गॉट, then funding can be made available. So which essentially means in case if you take a government grant and you get 30-50 lakh rupee or 1 crore rupee, and then you build some inventory on that, and then you go and hypothecate that inventory, the inventory will also become your asset on which you can get further funding. वो फंडिंग से आप वर्किंग कैपिटल फंडिंग लो और जाके इन्वेंट्री सेल करो, सेल करके जो प्रॉफिट आता है उसमें से आप आपका लोन रिपे कर दो. सो दिस इज हाउ टिपिकल, सी गाइस, डेट फंडिंग के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट पैरामीटर इज यू शुड नो हाउ टू leverage your books, leverage your business, leverage your customers, leverage your trade, leverage your inventory, leverage your maybe future plans, leverage. typically बोलते हैं कि debt cannot be more than double the size of equity. But look at the top notch organizations, may it be Reliance, जो अभी during pandemic debt free हुआ due to heavy investments by Facebook, Google, Amazon, these blah blah blah, all the biggies of the world. Look at Adani, look at Vedanta, look at big PSUs. Everyone is heavily loaded, or maybe up to 10 times of their equity. That is the kind of debt that they have availed so far. Just structuring it in the right way will be in a position to get a right debt. Right? Now, if you ask me what is venture debt, let me tell you guys. In India, venture debt has shown tremendous growth. Altair Capital has, I think, 1,000 crore plus venture debt. Indian Angel Network has also started their venture debt. Unicorn 9 venture catalysts have also started their venture debt. So there are a lot of people who have got into venture debt propositions. Let me tell you, venture debt, which lends money to the startup, when you are raising equity capital, founders are usually searching for debt component as well, so that minimum dilution ho. There are multiple fintech lending platforms who are also willing to lend as a venture debt for early stage startups. They are willing to take that risk also. There are simple loans available, personal loans are available, short-term loans are available, long-term loans are available without hypothecation. Against the company, medium-term loan up to 12 months are available online through multiple fintech lending platforms. They are generally operate as an NBFC. And let me tell you guys, this is one of the highest growing sector where their primary condition is if you are having an equity commitment in your company, we will give you venture debt also. So what happens? Fixed returns are ensured over a period of 24 to 36 months. Sometimes it goes bit beyond. But अगर मैंने 1 करोड़ रुपए का डेट दिया है, 10 करोड़ का डेट दिया है, तो I am 110% sure that this 10 crore will be back to me by becoming, let's say, 11 crore, 11.2 crore, whatever is the percentage that we are agreeing on. So I am sure of one thing, that in the process, if at all there is any asset being created by the equity funding that I have given, by giving a venture debt, I am also securing my overall proposition by having a asset as a mortgage with venture debt company, NBFC. आप समझ रहे हो? मैं आपको आपकी कंपनी में 10 करोड़ रुपए का इक्विटी देता हूं और मैं आपको बोलता हूं कि आप 10 करोड़ का इक्विटी लो और आप ये स्ट्रक्चर बनाओ, इतने प्लांट एंड मशीनरी बनाओ, ये एक ऑफिस खरीदो. जैसे ही आपने ऑफिस खरीदा, प्लांट एंड मशीनरी खरीदा, स्ट्रक्चर बनाया, मैं एनबीएफसी से आके और 10 करोड़ रुपए आपको दूंगा और मैं बोलूंगा जाओ जाके आप बिजनेस डेवलप करो. बट जब मैं आपको ये 10 करोड़ रुपए वेंचर फाइनेंसिंग के वेंचर डेट के तौर पे दे रहा हूं, तब मुझे आपके सारे असेट्स मॉर्गेज कर दो. सो क्या होता है? In case of default, at least I have got assets which can be leveraged. So there will be something which will come back. In 20 crore, at least 10, 12 crore, 15 crore का overall asset built-up मुझे मिलता है. अगर उसके अंदर लैंड भी है तो लैंड का वैल्यू अप्रिशिएशन भी मिल सकता है मुझे, और अगर वो मिलता है तो my risk goes down to that extent. So this is a smart way of financing by so-called financiers But this is equally smart way of getting the funds because you are diluting comparatively. अगर 20 crore की जगह 10 crore लेते हो तो आपका dilution भी आधा हो जाता है, right? So this is debt financing. Guys, if you have got any questions, maybe we can address it now. You can write it or you can ask me the question right away as well. Are you guys there? Are you understanding? समझ में आ रहा है?
So for venture debt, basically what you're saying is we should approach NBFC for this, or even
No,
these
there are
venture
specific
capitalists.
venture debt. There are specific venture debt companies are available. Just Google them, and you will get the list. You can approach them. Typical NBFCs are not always venture debt people because then they are, not sure how this funding will happen. But if you go to this venture debt guy, like very famous and the most prominent venture debt company is Ulterior from Bombay. You can just write a venture debt companies in India and you will get these names.
And typically, what kind of due diligence they look for, and
Typically,
how soon you can
so
get?
typically they look for due diligence the way equity financer does. But what they are doing is they don't want to participate independently. They participate along with. Let me tell you, they participate along with this thing, equity financer only. In initial days, they don't want to take a risk. Once they have taken the risk, equity financer is there for 7 years. They are giving you the funds for 24 months. If you need further funds, then after 24 months, they will give you another round of funding. They are willing to rotate the fund as fast as possible. But due diligence is like equity financer only. Okay, they are not looking. So, because what they are looking at is ultimately they are looking at whether your business will grow or not, whether you guys have a capability or not. And accordingly, they'll be able to take a call. So they are not looking at your past balance sheets because that is not available with the startup. They are not looking at your collateral. Again, it is not available with the startup, but they are looking for the overall business plan. The way equity financiers are looking at, they are also looking at.
So typically, let's say I do find an equity investor, and I get formally in writing from him, okay, so I'm going to invest this much at this valuation, whatever. After that, we should go to the venture debt person, or
that's the perfect way.
Okay.
Right.
Till we have something in proper writing and everything, no point going.
Even if term sheet is signed, term sheet signed होने के बाद ड्यू डिलिजेंस होता है. ड्यू डिलिजेंस होने के बाद एसएचए साइन होगा. बेस्ड ऑन द स्ट्रक्चर अगर जरूरत पड़ेगा तो डिबेंचर होल्डिंग एग्रीमेंट होगा. एसएच और डीएचए साइन होगा, उसके बाद ट्रांस रिलीज होगा. बट टर्म शीट साइन हो जाता है, तब भी यू कैन कैरी दैट टर्म शीट एंड गो टू एनी वेंचर डेट कंपनी.
Okay, understood.
Yeah, and then they will look at the credential of VC fund also. They will look at the credential of the angel investor also. और अगर उनको लगता है कि ये बहुत ही अच्छा ड्यू डिलिजेंस हुआ होगा, let's say, I'm just giving you, Sequoia is investing in some company. All these venture debts are more than interested in investing along with them. So if your business has a potential to go and convince Sequoia or Tiger Global, or maybe not SoftBank being the too bigger, but maybe you can go to Kalari Capital or any of them, Helium Capital, whatever. Then with these prominent VCs, these venture debts are always there. They are willing to take along. What will happen? Let's say your company is valued at 100 crore rupee and you are looking for 10 crore rupee. You can just dilute 5% by diluting 5 crore rupee to equity company, and you can go and get 5 crore rupee as a debt. Then your dilution is smaller and your requirement gets fulfilled. So that's how venture debt works.
Typically, what kind of percentage they charge?
Typically, it goes somewhere between 7-8% to 14%, depending upon the risk profile of the client and also the investor who has invested. So it can go from 7-8% to 14%. One deal I have done quite recently in last 3 months only, and they were funded at 10.25. So actual deal I'm talking about, that they were funded venture debt at 10.25.
But that's pretty steep, no?
It is steep, but if you go to venture capitalist or if you go to any angel investor, then they'll be talking about your debt conversion at 16% or 18%. If you look at convertible debt, if you look at returns that they are anticipating, then it will be around 22% and 25% and all those things. Risk element is there, but when you are sure that your product is in high demand and you are out in the market, your product cost is just $100, as I told you, and you are in a position to create your sales at 500 rupee, then 10% is still better, because you are sure that after 1 year I will be launching 3 more products and my 100 crore valuation will go to 1000 crore valuation. Then why should I dilute more?
So probably when a little bit of market validation has been done, only then we should do this one. Probably.
See, otherwise, without market validation, prominent VCs will not join.
True.
अगर prominent VCs आ रहे हैं, तो आपको भी मालूम है कि ये VCs ऐसे ही नहीं आए हैं. तो उस टाइम पे simultaneously अगर आप ले लेते हो venture debt, if you say that you are going for a debt pre-revenue, I will say that will be the biggest blunder. Don't do that. But if you say that we have got initial funds or we are getting some initial funds, and I think we'll be in a position to sell it quite easily, then why to dilute more, right? So that is a very, very prominent time. That is a perfect time to get venture debt. And let me tell you, slowly and gradually, venture debt companies, because अभी क्या है कि venture debt companies limited है इंडिया के अंदर, इसीलिए ये terms उनके थोड़े ज़्यादा stiff है. Slowly and gradually जैसे competition बढ़ेगा, terms कम होंगे. I remember in 2006 to 2011 जब 11-12 के अंदर फ्लिपकार्ट को पैसा मिला था, millions of dollars की बातें चल रही थी, right? उस टाइम पे typical investors were looking for returns in the range of 3x to 5x in 5 years, which is huge. 3x to 5x every year, all 5 years. Now that got sublimed, और अभी आप देखो अच्छे VC fund का presentation देखो, the returns expectations are 12 to 16% only, wherein it was 30% plus on year-on-year basis. So as competition will increase, it will go down. If you look at Silicon Valley, competition is even more stiffer. The rate of interest are low. The IRR expectations are low. The same way, when funding gets available to all the people, the rate of interest by banks will also go down. Same way, USA के अंदर 1-2% होता है, जापान के अंदर नेगेटिव चल रहा है, इन्फ्लेशनरी भी सपोर्ट नहीं है उसको, because funds are more than the requirement. Simple. It will happen eventually. But अभी की condition ये है. I'm telling you the isolated fact.
So another question, if I missed it, so any cap is there on the venture debt? Any cap like other?
Roughly, not more than 2 times than the equity that you have got.
Okay.
The reason is ideal banking ratio for debt to equity is 2:1.
Okay.
Yeah. So they go with this kind of prima facie judgment. अगर आपने 5 करोड़ रेस किया है और आपको और 10 करोड़ की रिक्वायरमेंट है, let us evaluate. But if you say that you are looking for 15 crore rupee additional, they will say no, we will not be able to give you 15 crore. We'll give you just 10 crore, not more than that. So that's the kind of, because that will create a perfect capital structure of your company.
Okay.
And when you have got a capital structure of your company in a right proportion, then to take it to the next level and make it even publicly listed company and giving the right benefit to all the lenders as well as the investors will be possible. So they don't want to come and give you a distorted capital structure which becomes not investable later on. And then their capital is stuck in between.
Got it. Thank you.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, I think there's one question from Suraj. Suraj, would you like to take this up?
Yeah, so I was just trying to understand maybe for all, right from the Mudra scheme to Smile to CGT, MSC, because again, startups are again time bound in terms of how much funds, kitni jaldi fund aa raha hai. So can you also advise or just mention like the timelines associated with Mudra scheme, CGT, MSC?
Let me tell you. Mudra can get completed in not more than 1 month because it's a small loan. It happens, the process happens at a branch level only. So the branch in which you are applying, it happens there only. So that is one thing. If you go to CGT MSc, minimum 2 to 3 months you have to consider, because बैंक के पास जाएगा, बैंक प्रपोजल उसको सही लगता है तो बैंक प्रपोजल डालेगा सिडबी को, सिडबी उसको पास करेगा. अभी उड़ान was launched in during pandemic only. So after lockdown उड़ान was launched. So अभी भी उड़ान के अंदर फैसिलिटी जो what they are trying to do is they are trying to minimize the timeline. But अभी तक authorities are not geared up to that extent. But believe me, slowly and gradually, पहले 3-4 महीने लगते थे, अभी 2 महीने के अंदर अप्रूवल आ रहा है. CGT MSc के साथ स्माइल जो है, अगेन स्मॉल लोन है, can happen in 1.5 months, not more than that. Stand Up India soft loan है, absolutely no guarantee on the timelines, but on a higher side you can consider 3 महीने में आ ही जाएगा for sure. Trade financing and equipment financing by NBFC, which is more like a encashable loans, it happens not more than 7 days. 7 दिन में ट्रेड फाइनेंसिंग का काम रफली हो जाता है. अभी हमने एक जगह पे ट्रेड फाइनेंसिंग का इसी तरह का काम करवाया, तो which was like around 10 to 12 days. The loan was some 5 to 6 crore रुपी. So just 12-15 दिन में आ गया. बट उसके सामने सर इंपॉर्टेंट क्या है मालूम है, ये सबके अंदर देर लगता है. उसका रीजन ये है कि डॉक्यूमेंटेशन प्रॉपर नहीं होता ना, तो सामने से ओवरऑल बिजनेस के अंदर दिक्कत आती है. सो डॉक्यूमेंटेशन अगर प्रॉपर दे दो, बैंकर को कंफर्ट दे दो, क्योंकि बैंकर खुद का पैसा नहीं दे रहा है. बैंकर भी एक पॉलिसी के तहत जो पब्लिक ने पैसा डिपॉजिट किया है वही दे रहा है आपको. तो बैंकर को क्या चाहिए कि मुझे मेरी पॉलिसी के तहत मुझे पैसा देना है, सो दैट कल सुबह उठ के अगर आप डिफॉल्ट भी करते हो तो ओनर्स ऑफ गिविंग यू द लोन शुड नॉट बी ऑन माय शोल्डर. So that is where we need to facilitate banker to the tune कि आपको जैसा चाहिए वैसा मैं प्लान बना के देता हूँ, वैसे मैं डॉक्यूमेंट्स देता हूँ, आप मुझे अप्रूवल दे दीजिए. That will be our job. That our means जो अप्लाई करता है उसका जॉब है. ये दे दो, rest everything can be taken care of.
So in this context, I have one very simple question, and that's I'm sure that each one of us face that. Some of us may be aware of all this documentation process and all with our own earlier experiences. But still, what we lack maximum at this time more than finance is time. So that is in real short supply. Okay.
Sure.
So
Yeah, understand.
Are there agencies who are capable of helping startup at a reasonable cost? And I'm asking upfront that who could help them in gathering all the documentations properly, or advise them that how to go about the documentation so that it doesn't fail, something like that.
See, honestly speaking, even lot of incubators are helping this way.
Right.
Lot of chartered accountants are also aware about these schemes and these benefits. What is needed is, because chartered accountants जो आपके CA होंगे, उनके जो बैंडविड्थ है वो काफी बड़ा है. वो इनकम टैक्स भी करते हैं, GST भी करते हैं, ऑडिटिंग भी करते हैं, फाइनेंसिंग भी करते हैं, MSME के लिए भी करते हैं, मिड साइज फर्म के लिए भी करते हैं. तो आपको जाके उनको बताना पड़ेगा कि मुझे ये स्कीम में ये पैसा चाहिए, और मैंने बेसिक स्कीम देखा है, मुझे ये पैसा लाके दो. अगर चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट के पास कागज सामने होगा कि ये प्रोसेस करना है, no one will say no, because at the end they are also making money in the process.
Correct.
In helping you also and in getting success also.
Right.
But the point is, not everyone is aware about these schemes. So better take the scheme in your hand, talk to your CA, give them the document, CA will read it, and CA will tell you, okay, I will help you.
Perfect.
So they are the best agencies because they have got a lot of documents of yours. Right. Probably company incorporation से लेके basic सारे document उनके पास है ही है.
Absolutely.
Right. So you don't need to reinvent the wheel with the same person.
Correct.
So your time will be shortened. Authority का time अपने हाथ में नहीं है, अपना time तो कम control करे.
Yeah. That's a good suggestion. Thank you.
Yeah. Sure. I will go next. So, जो मैंने बताया, इंक्यूबेटर और गवर्नमेंट से भी लोन मिल सकते हैं, राइट. TBI सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की अभी मैं बातें कर रहा हूँ, मोर और लेस. टेक्नो बिजनेस इंक्यूबेटर जो NSTEDB है, नेशनल साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप डेवलपमेंट बोर्ड, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, राइट, वो ऑन एन एवरेज 10 करोड़ रुपए इंक्यूबेटर को देता है और उनको बोलता है कि आपके यहाँ पे जो इंक्यूबेटी है, स्टार्टअप्स है, उनको आप फंडिंग दो। इंक्यूबेटर क्या करता है, अगर 10 करोड़ वो हर बार ग्रांट के तौर पे ही दे देगा तो कभी भी इंक्यूबेटर अपने खुद के मॉडल को सर्वाइव नहीं कर पाएगा। तो इंक्यूबेटर क्या करते हैं, सॉफ्ट लोन देते हैं, इक्विटी भी लेते हैं, सॉफ्ट लोन देते हैं। वहां पे कई सारे इंक्यूबेटर्स ऐसे हैं जो सॉफ्ट लोन बड़ी देते हैं क्योंकि उनके पास फंड ज्यादा है। कोई बड़ी इंस्टीट्यूट है तो इंस्टीट्यूट के अंदर एंडोमेंट फंड, जैसे अभी IIM अहमदाबाद ने एंडोमेंट फंड बनाया, उसके एलुमनाइज को लेके IIT दिल्ली का सबसे अच्छा एंडोमेंट फंड है, राइट। तो ये सारे एंडोमेंट फंड जो है that is made available to the startups as a soft loan. Go get it. You will be in a position to apply. See, important part is you should have a good idea, good team, good documentation, good presentation ability, and you'll be in a position to get it. Next, जो मैंने बताया कि टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस कम होते हैं एंड इंटरेस्ट रेट भी कम होता है, राइट। टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलपमेंट बोर्ड TDB, ठीक है, वो इंडस्ट्रियल कंसर्न्स जो है उसके अंदर नई टेक्नोलॉजी लेके आ रहे हो। लेट्स से यू एनी ऑफ यू आर वर्किंग ऑन इंडस्ट्री 4.0 एंड यू आर एड्रेसिंग पर्टिकुलर इंडस्ट्री, तो आप इंडस्ट्री में जाके बोल सकते हो कि मैं आपको सॉफ्ट लोन दिलवाता हूँ, वो पैसा आप मुझे दे दो, मैं आपका काम एग्जीक्यूट करके देता हूँ, एंड देन यू विल बी एबल टू मेक गुड मनी ऑल्सो। सो द सिंपल इंटरेस्ट, मैं 10 साल के लिए लोन दूंगा, 7 साल के लिए लोन दूंगा, हर साल सिर्फ मुझे 5% देना है। इट्स नॉट इवन कंपाउंडिंग इंटरेस्ट। तो रीपेमेंट सिर्फ 7 साल, 6 साल, 5 साल के बाद, मोरेटोरियम के बाद सिर्फ सिंपल इंटरेस्ट 5% पे दे देना है। जितना पेंडिंग है उसका 5% दे दो, खत्म करो, राइट। एंड R&D के अंदर जो स्टार्टअप्स काम करते हैं, जैसे मैंने बताया बैराक हो गया, DSIR CSIR से हो गया, तो उनको R&D करने के लिए भी सॉफ्ट लोन भी मिल सकता है। ग्रांट नहीं मिलता, ग्रांट यूटिलाइज कर लिया, मेरा R&D एक लेवल तक पहुंच गया, मैं जाके वहां पे बोर्ड को प्रेजेंट करता हूं कि मेरा R&D यहाँ तक पहुंच गया, बट अब थोड़ा मुझे और दे दो सो दैट आई कैन गेट इनटू द मार्केट। देन गवर्नमेंट विल टेक अ डिसीजन कि आपका R&D को फिनिश करना है, मैं आपको सॉफ्ट लोन देता हूं 3 साल तक, नो रिपेमेंट। लेट मी टेल यू, इवन iCreate हैज बीन गिविंग दिस काइंड ऑफ लोन्स जहां पे 3 साल तक देयर इज नो रिपेमेंट, 4th year onwards you will have to repay at 6% per annum, all those things. So जहां पे फंड्स का अवेलेबिलिटी है वहां पे आपको सॉफ्ट लोन मिल सकता है, दैट इज थ्रू इंक्यूबेटर्स आल्सो। सो दिस इज सॉफ्ट लोन, बेसिकली 5-6% से ज्यादा नहीं है। नाउ इन स्टेट ऑफ गुजरात एनी लोन्स आर मोर और लेस सॉफ्ट लोन। मैं आपको बताता हूं, we'll discuss then also, discussing now also. For example, अगर मैं CGT MSc से लोन लेता हूं और CGT MSc से मैंने लोन लिया है 10% पे, तो एज पर इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसी 2020 which is managed by Industries Commissionerate Department, Government of Gujarat, which works directly under CM office, will give you interest subsidy up to 7%, which essentially means आपको इंटरेस्ट पे तो करना है, बट उतनी ही अमाउंट आपने इंटरेस्ट पे की है ऐसा गवर्नमेंट में हर 3 महीने में आपको स्टेटमेंट रखना है, और हर 6 महीने में वो इंटरेस्ट का अमाउंट आपके अकाउंट में क्रेडिट हो जाएगा, अप टू 7% ऑफ द इंटरेस्ट ऑन द लोन दैट यू हैव टेकन। सो व्हिच एसेंशियली मींस द कॉस्ट टू द कंपनी, ultimate cost to the company is just 3%. Again, soft loan. If you go to even 13% rate of interest, then also it will be 6% only. So 7% interest subsidy is available by Government of Gujarat through industrial policy managed by Industries Commissionerate. आप लोगों को क्लियर कट बता दिया, अगर कहीं से भी लोन मिलता है तो लोन लेके ये बेनिफिट लेना मत भूलना। गवर्नमेंट इंसेंटिव्स क्या होते हैं, कौन कौन से स्कीम है, मैं आपको स्कीम के बारे में बताऊंगा, थोड़े बहुत बेनिफिट बताऊंगा, आई हैव नॉट लिस्टेड एवरीथिंग ओवर हियर। गवर्नमेंट इंसेंटिव्स के अंदर स्टार्टअप इंडिया स्कीम वी ऑल नो, प्रोक्योरमेंट बेनिफिट्स, इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी के लिए बेनिफिट्स, सीड सपोर्ट का बेनिफिट, ये सारे स्टार्टअप इंडिया के अंदर लिखे हैं। 10,000 करोड़ का गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का फंड फॉर एज ए फंड ऑफ फंड, एडिशनल 10,000 करोड़ गिवन बाय LIC, मैनेज बाय सिडबी। मैं आपको मोटा मोटा एक की बता देता हूं, 4 या 5 ही एजेंसी है जो मेजोरिटी काम करती है, और उसके साथ अगर आप अपना लाइसेंसिंग आप जाके वहां के लोगों से मिलना शुरू करते हो तो वो 5 एजेंसी आपको मैक्सिमम बेनिफिट दे देगा। लोन का पार्ट, बड़ी लोन, छोटी लोन, कोलेटरल फ्री लोन, मुद्रा लोन, कोई भी लोन का पार्ट, सिंगल एजेंसी सिडबी, स्मॉल इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया। किसी के साथ पहचान बनाओ, जानो, ऑनलाइन पढ़ो, जाके बात करो। गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल्स आर रियली हेल्पफुल, they are there to help you, nobody goes because nobody knows। जाओ, जाके बात करो, definitely government will give you benefit। गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की मेजोरिटी स्कीम्स 3 डिपार्टमेंट से होती है। MSME डिपार्टमेंट, सीड्स, देन डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी सेकंड, एंड थर्ड नीति आयोग। स्टार्टअप इंडिया स्कीम नीति आयोग, अटल इंक्यूबेशन नीति आयोग, सीड्स सपोर्ट सिस्टम DST, निधि प्रयास MSME, न्यूजन IIDC DST, TBI STEP DST, R&D grants DST, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ बायोटेक्नोलॉजी DST, बायराक DST, बिग बायोटेक इग्निशन ग्रांट DST। सो ये 3 ही सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट में 3 लो। लोन के लिए सिडबी। स्टेट में आ जाओ, स्टेट में 3 लो, एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी एंड इंडस्ट्री कमिश्नरेट डिपार्टमेंट, 3 लो। Education department will give a support by way of student startup and innovation policy, industrial policy for startups and MSMEs, IC में चले जाओ। IT ITES की जो पॉलिसी है DST में चले जाओ, STI by DST, and sectoral policies थोड़ी बहुत है। Coming back to the government schemes, अटल इंक्यूबेशन के अंदर up to 10 lakh rupee you can get। AICs are there, many AICs are there in Gujarat। सीड सपोर्ट सिस्टम, जो भी TBI है वहां से अप्लाई करते हैं, अगेन 10 लाख तक बेनिफिट मिल सकता है, 25 लाख तक मिल सकता है, सॉरी। निधि प्रयास 10 लाख तक मिल सकता है बेनिफिट। न्यूजन IIDC इज टिपिकली फॉर इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज के स्टूडेंट्स के लिए, एग्जिस्टिंग स्टूडेंट्स या फ्रेशली पास आउट स्टूडेंट्स हु हैव नॉट कंप्लीटेड 5 years ऑफ देयर ग्रेजुएशन, उनके लिए है। 2-3 लाख 4 लाख रुपए यहां से मिल सकते हैं आपको। तो ये सारी स्कीम के अंदर क्या चाहिए मेजोरिटी, मैं आपको पीछे से 4-5 पॉइंट बताऊंगा। मैं अभी क्या है कि सारी स्कीम के बारे में बहुत डिटेल में पढ़ने के बाद मैंने एक, आप टेक्निकल लैंग्वेज में बोलो तो LCM निकाला है, लोएस्ट डिनोमिनेटर। इतनी चीज कर लो, 90% ऑफ योर वर्क विल बी डन। 90%, no, I'm telling you, I'll tell you that। So in Startup India scheme, we know multiple benefits are available. What is it that is needed for that? I'll tell you। Atal incubation, again, यहां पे आ जाओ। SSIP, again for students, again जिसने कोई भी कॉलेज से 5, गुजरात के अंदर कोई भी कॉलेज से 5 साल नहीं हुआ है उसको 2-3 लाख रुपए मिलते हैं हर साल। ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ 3 to 4 years they can get 9 to 10 lakh रुपए इजीली। स्टार्टअप्स और MSME की इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसी है, वो अपने आप में एक बहुत बड़ा भंडार है, क्योंकि the total funds available directly or indirectly by way of benefits or by way of infrastructural support is nearly 50,000 crore। in this policy only industrial policy. Startups के लिए industrial policy जो बनी है उसके अंदर अगर आप अप्रूव्ड एनआई के पास, नोडल इंस्टीट्यूट के पास अगर आप आपका प्रपोजल लेके जाते हो और अगर आप कोई प्रोडक्ट ड्रिवन स्टार्टअप करना चाहते हो तो अप टू 30 लाख रुपए ग्रांट इज अवेलेबल. द ग्रांट इज अवेलेबल बाय वे ऑफ सीड. जहां पे पहले ऐसा था, ग्रांट ऐसी थी कि 10 लाख रुपए बाय वे ऑफ prototype development and 10 lakh rupee by way of marketing development was available. Now, instead of that, it is 30 lakh rupee. Either you use it in prototype development or use it in marketing or branding or anything. So they have specified this. But आप कहीं पे भी यूज कर सकते हो, मतलब आपको मार्केटिंग की जरूरत नहीं है, बट 30 लाख रुपए आपको सिर्फ प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट में डालना है, डाल दो. अगर आप बोलते हो प्रोडक्ट तो मेरे पास रेडी है, मुझे मार्केटिंग 30 लाख का करना है, कर दो. ठीक है, तो ये पॉसिबिलिटी आपके पास अभी गवर्नमेंट ने दी है. एमएसएमई को जो बेनिफिट दे रहे हैं, जिसके अंदर मैंने बोला सीजीटी एमएसई का बेनिफिट मिलना, 7% इंटरेस्ट सब्सिडी का बेनिफिट मिलना. अगर आप टेक्नोलॉजी अपग्रेडेशन करते हो तो आप जितना कॉस्ट करते हो उसका 50%, उसका 70%, अकॉर्डिंगली आपको रीइंबर्समेंट करना. ऑनगोइंग बेसिस के ऊपर आईटीआईटीएस पॉलिसी जो है डीएसटी की, उसके अंदर थोड़ा सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट का 2-5 लाख रुपए तक मिलता है, मार्केटिंग भी उसके अंदर कवर हो जाता है. बहुत बड़ी अमाउंट हाथ में नहीं आती है, बट क्या होता है उसमें बेनिफिट? द बेनिफिट इज आप जगह लेते हो, रेंट पे करते हो, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी पे करते हो, आप सॉफ्टवेयर परचेस करते हो, कोई सर्वर चाहिए आपको फ्री के अंदर, ठीक है, मेंटेनेंस सपोर्ट चाहिए. डीएसटी की जो अप्रूव्ड लैब्स है वो लैब को यूटिलाइज करना है आपको फॉर फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट, जहां पे बहुत सारे एआई, एआर, वीआर, आईओटी, सिमुलेशंस, रोबोटिक्स, क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग के मल्टीपल टेक्नोलॉजीज हैं. यू वांट टू यूज इट, use it. Now you have developed some good project, you have got some good product. Now product is available and you want to pilot that product, you want to pilot your R&D. So the next scheme is the best scheme of Gujarat, Science and Technology Innovation, STI by DST Gujarat. Up to 50 lakh rupee grant is available to the startup for piloting the project. In that too, only one layer approval.
Is this only for companies registered in Gujarat or
this is only for companies registered in Gujarat.
Okay.
And Sanket, is there any, is it still going on, this policy, or some changes has occurred in this?
No, policy is still going on.
Okay.
Quite recently only I visited DST and I was just cross-verified.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is there. And then if you are in arts and crafts and textiles, tourism and all those, so sector-wise, different ministry has got different policies. Not getting into that, I am just taking more generalistic policies because that will be more helpful to us. So these policies are available. State government के अंदर ये सारे schemes है. ये schemes के अब आप holistically सोचो, ठीक है? कि next slide जो है उसके अंदर तो मैंने सिर्फ requirement लिखी है. I'll just take a few minutes and then we get on to further question answer. आप just overall सोचो कि आपका स्टार्टअप है और आपको थोड़ा पैसा चाहिए, जाओ गवर्नमेंट के पास, put up the proposal. I was before deputy IC just day before yesterday, and the way he was telling me, isn't it, we have found some good startups coming from the tier 4 or tier 5 cities who does not know how to, pronounce startup clearly. But if you look at the technology, if you look at the frugal innovation that they have done, if you look at the tinkering that they have done in the overall project and the value addition that they have been able to create, and now they want to take this value addition to multiple people, it solves the real problem, because probably they were the sufferers of the problem. They have found the solution. The solution has been defined or derived by someone who is a worker in one factory or someone who is just driving auto rickshaw, and they have found some really good solution, and without any, let me tell you, these are the words I am quoting, without any intervention by any SLEC, just by looking at the overall proposition, government has extended the total grant, whatever was available from IC, to that guy and said, start the work. Now, coming back to industrial policy for startup, it is not just 30 lakh rupee. If you have a women co-founder, if you don't have women co-founder, then 20,000 per month as a sustenance allowance. If you have a women co-founder, then 25,000 rupee per month as a sustenance allowance, which makes it additional 3 lakh rupee. Then if you are creating a social impact, then additional 10 lakh rupee is available. So if you are creating the social impact, then additional 10 lakh rupees available. And if you say that you are in innovation, you need to train the people, then for training also it will be given 1 lakh rupee. So in total, if you look at 30 lakh rupee for prototyping or marketing, 3 lakh rupee for sustenance allowance, 10 lakh rupee for social impact, 1 lakh rupee for training. In total, government of Gujarat through IC will give you 44 lakh rupee in total. Just imagine guys, कुछ हाथ में नहीं है, एक आइडिया लेके आप घूम रहे हो, आपके हाथ में शायद इंजीनियरिंग की डिग्री है, टेक्नोलॉजी का थोड़ा बैकग्राउंड है, आप आइडिया लेके हाथ में घूम रहे हो, आपने पेपर पे सब कुछ डालना शुरू किया, आपने उसको एक प्रॉपर स्ट्रक्चर दिया, 5-25 हजार रुपए का छोटा सा खर्चा किया, और द मोमेंट यू स्टार्टेड डूइंग दिस एक्टिविटी, believe me, government is all there to help you. This is what is needed. And that is the purpose for which when I have spoken to Neha and I have told her, okay, probably what I feel is startups don't have sufficient information. And that is why probably they are not in a position to leverage the benefits. होता क्या है, गवर्नमेंट 10,000 करोड़ की पॉलिसी बनाती है, 5 साल के अंदर अगर उसका रिव्यू करने जाते हैं तो 1,000 करोड़ भी यूटिलाइज नहीं होता है, जबकि 100 करोड़ की पॉपुलेशन, highest demographic dividend, with a lot of eyes, third largest number of startups registered in India, and we are not in a position to leverage the benefits. Take the benefits, it will improve your valuation. Take the benefits, it will give you a lot of support. And take the benefits, it's not risky. Government घर पे आके आपका घर नहीं खाली करवाएगी कि आपने लोन रिपे क्यों नहीं किया. Government knows where they are investing. They will grill you, but at the end of the day, you will come out victorious. Your startup will survive. Or the moment you started repaying from day one, chota to chota, your credit history, credit profile will improve. The moment it will improve, next time banker will also give you fund. Without security also, banker will be interested in taking the risk. Initially, they will not be able to take a risk. Their policy wants support. But your credit score, because you have repaid the loan, will support. Do it, guys. This is how it should be. And ये सब करने का prerequisite क्या है? ये सब करने का prerequisite is Startup India certificate ले लीजिए, DIPP में register करना होता है, now DP, IIT, MSME, उद्योग आधार ले लीजिए, because कई benefits MSMEs को मिलते हैं, startups can also be MSME, तो उसका भी जो benefit मिल सकता है ले लीजिए आप. Project report, technological detail, USP, problem that you are solving, market, but focus is your technology, your USP. Financial plan, exact requirement is कितना है, मुझे कितना पैसा चाहिए, और जो पैसा मुझे मिलेगा वो मैं कहाँ पे यूटिलाइज करूंगा. क्लैरिटी के साथ बताओ. अगर वो करते हो और आप फेल भी होते हो, गवर्नमेंट विल नॉट कम. पर अगर आप गलत दिखाते हो तो आपको हर बार गवर्नमेंट की कोई भी स्कीम के अंदर आपको डिक्लेरेशन साइन करना पड़ता है कि यू विल बी यूटिलाइजिंग ओनली फॉर द पर्पस फॉर व्हिच यू आर आस्किंग, एंड देन इफ यू डोंट यूटिलाइज, देन गवर्नमेंट विल बी आफ्टर यू, देन यू आर कमिटिंग अ फ्रॉड. सो जितना इजी मेरे को बोलना और आपको सुनना लगता है, इतना इजी नहीं है. अगर होता तो सब लोग ले लेते, बट इतना डिफिकल्ट भी नहीं, क्योंकि 1,000 करोड़ तो फिर भी किसी को मिल ही रहा है. 1,85,000 करोड़, 1,85,000 करोड़ का गारंटी तो किसी तरह किसी को मिल ही रहा है. और अगर 1 करोड़ भी ऑन एन एवरेज में क्रेडिट गारंटी गिनता हूं तो 1,85,000 MSMEs are supported, but you are not the one. If you have got a genuine plan, if you have got the real plan, if you are thinking that you will be able to do it, if you have got the right KYC for founder as well as the right documents for the startup, because to be a startup, either you need to be a LLP or a company or registered partnership firm. I'm sure you all are not aware about it. Make it, then plan, go to the next, and then you will be definitely in a position to leverage all these benefits. So with this, thank you so much, guys. I'm Sanket. You can reach me on this, my mail ID.
Will you be sharing this presentation?
I'll share it, no issues.
Yeah, that will be good.
Yeah. So thank you so much, guys. Over to you all for any question, answer, or Neha.
So I must say, Sanket, that was an excellent session, to be very honest. I don't know about, we have heard a few feedback from the participants also, and I can give the chance to these startups for a few more minutes because we have run, we are running short of time. If you have any questions, you can put up. We can take quick 2-3 questions now. I think there's
I think Arpit has written one question that we are a startup based in Noida, UP, working in the field of IoT, machine vision, AIML.
You have highlighted government of Gujarat in such a light that now, you know,
people will be coming over here. NASSCOM will have better registered startups over here. Yeah, what are the options grant for us on which department? So, Arpit, I'll say at the central level, state level, because Noida is in UP, so UP का state का अगर आपको policy देखना है तो startupindia.gov.in पे जाएं. हर एक state की policies वहाँ पे refer की हुई है. UP की policy देखें. अगर UP में कोई policy है तो UP के government को apply करना, that is one thing. Simultaneously, central government की अगर मैं बात करता हूँ तो central government में Department of Science and Technology is the place where you should be focusing on. Multiple grants are available through DST. The highest amount of funds are available with DST, Government of India. So you should focus there. These technologies are definitely the next big proposition for government because इसी से manufacturing बढ़ेगा, industry 4.0 होगा, skill बढ़ेगा, everything is needed. So absolutely you can take it there.
लेकिन जितना भी लोन्स के बारे में आपने बोला उसमें तो डीएसटी का तो नहीं है क्या?
सिर्बी
ओके.
स्टैंडर्ड लोन के लिए सिर्बी, कोई भी बैंक के पास जाओ, कोई भी नेशनलाइज्ड बैंक, एसबीआई, बीओबी, बैंक ऑफ इंडिया, कोई भी, राइट? बट because ultimately it will reach to SIRBI. SIRBI may not directly entertain customers, so SIRBI is more or less a backbone for all this. But you go to these people and they will take you to SIRBI for sure. NBFCs cannot take any benefit from SIRBI. Only nationalized bank. Private banks can also take up. PSBs can take, or private banks can take. So private banks like ICICI, HDFC, Axis, yes, all these banks can also take a benefit. But NBFCs like Lending Card, Mass Finance, larger NBFCs, they cannot take any benefit from this. Any other question, guys?
Yeah.
Happy to answer.
I think people are sinking in. Yeah,
sorry?
I'm saying people are sinking in. That was
okay.
Yes. So,
but hope it was some enlightening. थोड़ा बहुत समझ में आया होगा और बाकी मैं ये presentation share कर दूंगा आपके साथ.
That will be a great option. Amit, would you like to say something before we end?
I think Amit is not there.
Maybe, yeah. So thank you very much, Sanket. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And we can have a next round of similar kind of session again for our startups. And since you have covered, you've justified 1 hour in such a, it was very informative. Thank you very much. And I hope all our participants are on the same page. They have liked the session, and I'll get some feedback and share it with you. Yeah.
Sure. Looking forward, guys. Thank you so much. All the best, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Sanket. Thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Suraj. Yeah, thank you. Okay. All right. Bye, everyone.